everybody, it's Anne from Annalise Creates, Annalise Creations. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've got myself a new mic, so I'm hoping that some of you will be able to hear me better. Anyhow, I have my window open, so you're going to hear probably cars and things going by, just like the motorcycle you just heard go by. So just bear with me. Today, it's kind of a muggy day, but it's not really hot, so I figured I'd open my windows up a little. It is gray today. They said chances of rain and maybe thunderstorms here in California, so that's kind of interesting. So anyways, I'm here to do the second part of my junk journal, page 5. Okay, and as you know, we did the last time, so here's the front of the journal. And so here is the page we did last time, and here's where we left off. I just got bits and pieces from things I've had received in Happy Mail and just stuff that I've cut out of magazines and stuff. You should see I've got this drawer. One of these days I'll do another tour of my art room. I've just been cleaning this morning. Yeah. Do you find that you spend more time cleaning than you do crafting or arting? I find that. Okay, so I'm going to gather my paints here. I'm thinking I'm going to make some marks and stuff on my paper. And yeah, so stay tuned. And this week I'm going to be doing a vlog regarding the live stream or Ustream or Google Hangout. I think it may be along the lines of a Google Hangout. I've been doing some research, and the Google Hangout seems to work better because you can have more people join it. I'm not sure if that's the case, if there's a limit on how many people join. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So stay tuned for that this week, because I plan on doing that live Ustream or whatever stream sometime this coming weekend, perhaps on Friday or Saturday, depending on whether my family is what we're up to for the weekend. Sometimes we don't go anywhere and sometimes we do, so it just depends on how the weekend's going. So yeah, so anyhow, enough of my chit chat. Let's get to actual work. I'm going to be using Andy Skinner's shedded, I think it's really, shedded. So this is like, it looks like a snake skin that's been shed. You know how they shed their skin? When they grow, they shed their skin. It's nasty, actually. My kids, my father-in-law lives in Oregon, and we go up there every summer, or at least the kids do. Not me so much anymore. Traveling in the car for a long distance leaves me in a lot more pain than it's really worth at times. So my trips are usually short trips. But yeah, so anyhow, I'm going to be using, let's see, I'm looking for some texture paste. Where is my texture paste? The one I wanted to use. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? And of course, I'm never prepared. Like I should be, right? Oh, here it is. But this time I'm going to use the DecoArt. It's called Dimensional Effects. It's paintable texture paste. Now I'm not going to paint it right now. I'm going to paint it after it dries, just to see how this works. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to get my palette knife. And then I'm going to spread it around and see what kind of effects I'm going to get with this. If it's just the same as modeling paste, you know. It's always interesting to you know, experiment with new stuff, new products, new media that you might have never worked with before. So, and I'm also brainstorming on what we're going to do. And when I do my vlog regarding the Ustream, the live stream, I will by that point, hopefully decide what I'm going to what I'm going to do, what kind of project, and I will list the materials that you may need, and I'm going to try to find materials that you have around the house, and if you don't, then we'll try to see if we can find some substitutions for those things. So yeah, so bear with me in this process. So it'll be interesting because I want you guys to join me in kind of like a step-by-step lesson online and on a live stream. That's what I would like to try and do. So, you know, give me some feedback too. Give me some ideas. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to try and haven't been able to, you know, get around to do it, and maybe we'll have time, we'll do it on the live stream. So, you know, post down below your comments, please, 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 please. That would help me a lot, so that we know what we're going to be doing. So this is going, let's see, going to get this going here, and I'm lifting it. Looks pretty good so far. I'm going to put a little more over here on this side here. I'm just playing around. You know, this is what I like about the junk journal, is you can play around, and if things don't work out, are successful, then you can, you know, try again, right? Yeah, I agree. So here we go, and hopefully you guys can hear me with this new mic. Yeah. It's all a learning curve, you know, all the videotaping and editing videos and, you know, putting it up, and yeah, it's a lot of work actually. But I love it. I enjoy doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do. There's certain times where I hate editing video, because sometimes it's like, really, what was I thinking when I said that and this and that, and yeah. But with my chit chat videos now, I don't have to do as much editing, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes after this dries, and I will be back. Alright, so I'm back to do the next part. So this is dried, okay, but the first thing I want to do is do some little color in the background. It's not necessarily color, because Cashmere Beige is considered a neutral color. I'm going to use the Cashmere Beige Americana acrylic paint, and just I'm just going to create today. I'm just adding it in a couple of different areas, and I'm going to use my finger today. I'm going to do a little finger painting. You guys like to finger paint? Does it bring back memories of childhood when you finger painted? I remember as a kid, my kindergarten teacher actually, she used to take us outside, and she'd have this long butcher block paper that she put on the ground, and she'd get tempera paints out, and we would go to town. She would just let us create, whether it was with paintbrushes or or using our fingers. It just was a lot of fun. It's just so much fun to do. Okay, so I'm just finger painting here a little in areas, and a little bit more stuff to it, okay? And then I'm going to wipe off the excess on my drop cloth paper. Okay, so look at my fingers, they're baby. Okay, so next I'm going to start with some greens. Decided I'm going to try this out. So I'm going to put a little bit on a plate, and I'm going to use my finger again. But this time I'm not going to use as much paint. And I'm lightly going over that textured paste that we use, the dimensional paste. And I'm going over it with this Americana Arbor green. And I will leave the link down below for all the paint colors. if you're interested. And you can purchase them online, or I know that Hobby Lobby sells some of the Americana paints, and so Michaels sells some as well. It's kind of hit or miss depending on which store you're at. Some of them have a full range and others don't, so I think it just depends on the area that you're in. I don't know why, but I think that's just the way it works out for most. I'm going to make sure I'm in the frame here. Okay, I am. So here we go. I'm just going to keep painting away, playing. Okay. Gotta learn to play when you art. Not take it so seriously. Some of us take it so seriously and we kind of, you know, beat ourselves up a bit when it comes to creating. We often tend to compare ourselves to other people's work, and I try not to do it myself because I figured everyone is at a different point in their art journey, and not everyone has the experience or the training as everyone else does. It's called experimenting too, and you don't have to go to college and study art in order to create art. And sometimes it bothers me when I hear people say that, you know, well, you didn't go to college, you didn't study art, so what do you think you're doing? It's like, hello, I'm experimenting, I'm learning through experimenting. So don't let others get you down. And don't beat yourself up. You can't compare yourself to others. It's called learning to play. Okay? And, you know, I did go to college and I did take some art classes. I didn't take all the art classes because I'm the kind of person that I like to experiment more than getting what they call the classical art training. Yeah, I don't particularly, I got bored very fast. And it's just like when you take certain classes, you know, online classes, and they're pretty much teaching stuff that you kind of already know sometimes, that sometimes you just kind of have to start thinking outside the box yourself and creating yourself to learn your style. And I normally don't work in greens like this dark earthy tone greens. I normally like the brighter pastel-y colors, but you know, like I said, I'm playing, you know, I'm just playing and figuring out how the colors work with each other. Maybe they don't. Sometimes they can turn to mud, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm just playing, and that one I just used was the Citron green, and it's also by Americana. Next, I'm going to the DecoArt Dazzling Metallics Crystal Green. I love their metallics. I love sparkly metallic colors, and they're really fun to use. Very, very fun to use. So I'm going over this skin, rattlesnake skin that's, yeah, stencil. And I'm just playing, like I said, just adding the color where I think it's going to look good. Have you ever heard of intuitive painting? Well, it's going by what your gut feeling, your gut is telling you to go, okay? You know, some people go, I don't understand what that means. I don't get it. And so it's just listening to your heart, listening to your soul, you know, listening to yourself of where you should go next on the painting. You know, sometimes just taking a step back. Sometimes if you're not sure where to go next, it's good to just take a step back or walk away for a little while and come back and actually look at it from a distance too. See the colors, see where it might be taking you and going. Next is the thermal green and the neons that I'm using. I love these neons. They're really, really bright and vibrant. So this is where I'm bringing in my bright colors, because I do like bright colors. That's kind of my style. I like using bright colors, and I love using metallics because the metallics change in the light, and it's just really, really cool. Unfortunately, the camera's probably not picking that up, but metallics just, you know, if you have a painting that has some metallics in it, depending on where the light hits it, it changes the color on the canvas. It's really, really cool. I have a friend of mine, she's a dear friend of mine, and she is a landscape painter, and she painted this painting a few years back, and she added metallics to it. It's actually a landscape painting of the beautiful mountain that overlooks my city, and I bought it from her. And every time she comes over, she regrets ever selling it because she loves the way the metallics have hit the canvas. And yeah, so she's like, oh, so she kind of regrets ever selling it to me. But yeah. So like I said, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this, but I do like this stuff here. This looks really cool. So I'm just drying it off, getting it to dry. And I want to add some more stuff around here. It's like missing something, right? So I'm going to come in, I'm going to grab, let's see what I can use here. I'm going to use, no, I don't want to use that one. Let's see. Let's see. Decisions. I've got a burnt sienna. That'll work. Okay. So now I'm going to take that burnt sienna, and I'm going to go in with, when I went to Gina Ahrens' house for that artsy party, the DecoArt's artsy party that we had, she made this stencil a long time ago, and she was getting rid of it. She had a pile. She had to see everyone bring something to trade or, you know, give away, trade, whatever. So I brought a bunch of paper that I had, and so we exchanged things. We picked up whatever we liked and wanted or whatever, and so this was what I picked up, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna use this today. So I'm gonna use some of this burnt sienna in the acrylic Americana paint, and I'm going to take a stencil brush, if I have one here. I don't have a big enough one, do I? Oh yeah, here we go. This one's pretty big. And what I mean by a stencil brush is it's a flat brush, and it's got pretty thick bristles on it. It's really good to use for stenciling. And it kind of gives it a rough texture too. Oops. Okay, I'm going to do one right. I like that one there. I think I'm going to do one. Trying to figure out where to put this next one. I'm going to put it right about here. It's going to look a little funky, but like I said, I'm playing around today, so I'm not really concerned where I'm putting these, because like I said, I'm experimenting. Okay. So put that one on there, and then I'm going to put the stem of the leaf here too. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so now I still want to come in and do something else along here because it's lacking something. So I'm going to come in and add, I'm looking here to see what I can add here. Okay, so I did that one already. Let's see what else I can add here. Okay, so I've got this it's called Burning Rubber. It's Andy Skinner's stencil again. So I'm going to open this one up because I haven't used it yet. This one I actually ordered myself. I had ordered the whole set of stencils hoping that maybe DecoArt would give them to me, but they didn't. So yeah, so I've gone ahead and I went ahead and ordered a few things because with the DecoArt Helping Hand program also, they also give you 50% off on anything that you order. So, or pretty much anything, but not the sale items. Anything that's on sale, you cannot get 50% off, but you can get other things with, you know, the 50% off. So, yeah, so that's actually a pretty good deal. So, all right, so I'm going to use, because I want to kind of bring in the colors that are in here, sort of. So I'm going to start out with the Desert Turquoise. This is one of my favorite colors so far. It was the Desert Turquoise by Americana. I just love the color. I'm into turquoise colors. So I'm going to go along here with this. And I accidentally had some brown on my brush, so it's going to turn out a little bit brown looking. And that's okay, because actually it looks pretty good. It's kind of giving it a sort of a weird color. Because I didn't wipe off my brush. So just a lesson learned. If you're going to use another color, make sure that you clean off your brush first. That's okay, because I'm playing today, so I'm not going to be too worried about it, because this is my play journal. My junk journal has turned out to be my play and experiment journal, except I just went over the chameleon. I didn't want to do that, so I'm going to wipe that off a little bit. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I like to play in my junk journal. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So I'm working on my junk journal and just playing along and just going over where I think these should go. Okay, I'm just, you know, just looking at the page and going, okay, where should I put this? Where should I put that? Because really, when I started this, I really didn't have a clue where I was going. Sometimes, like I've said before in my other videos, sometimes I kind of know what I'm going to do, and other times it's like, well, what should I do next? So, yeah. I'm going to put some right here. And then when I'm all done here, I'm going to have to take my stencils and go soak them in Murphy's oil soap. And stuff there, and I'm not quite done yet because you'll see what I'll do next. Also, the trick to art journaling is a lot of layers, using lots and lots of layers. I like using lots of layers. It's fun. It adds a lot of texture and interest, I think. Sometimes it can look a little busy, but I like it. I like that busy look. Some people don't. Some people like to cover everything up. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do cover everything up, like I did in the previous page before this. You know, I had that design going, and then I covered some of it up. And yeah, sometimes I do. But most of the time I do like the busyness and the texture and the paint and everything. I just like it a lot. Okay, so I'm going to lift that up. And I think I'm going to put one right about here. This direction. Downwards. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to clean some of the excess off just by rubbing it onto my drop cloth. It'll be easier to soak. There we go. And then set that aside. And then let's see. I'm going to dry this area up. So I've got this neon blue, electric blue that I'm going to use, also in the Americana paints by DecoArt. And I'm using off my brush a little bit this time. And I'm dipping my brush in the blue paint. And this was another stencil a la Gina Ahrens. She did this one too. Put this one out also. And a little more blue in this corner with the electric blue going over the other stuff. I like that. I'll use that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to let this really dry good, and then I'll come back for part 3. So I shall see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. Toodles. Have a wonderful day.